Aloha kako, mahalo for joining us today. We will begin with a pule by Commissioner Ornelas.
Aloha kakahiaka. E pule kako. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this beautiful day. We sit in gratitude with the opportunity that we have to gather as family, friends, lahui, to spend precious moments together, to move forward, to chart a new future for the Department of Hawaiian Homelands and for Hawaiians. We are facing so much, and we are so grateful for this venue, for all of the hardworking staff, for the funding, and for the opportunity that we have to holomua. We ask your blessing of health and strength, clarity of mind, and pureness of heart and intent, that we may accomplish the business set before us in a manner that is pleasing unto thee. At the conclusion of today's meeting, we ask for your travel mercies and grace that we may all return home in safety. Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for everything that we are recipients of daily, and we give all praise and glory to thy name in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay, the meeting is being held virtually on Zoom and in person at Halepunui, 91-5420 Kapolei Parkway, Kapolei, 96707. Macaulay Watson, Chairman of the Commission or Chairperson. Today's date is Tuesday, March 17, 2026. The time is 9:41. Leo, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Freitas joining us by
Here.
Zoom.
Sorry, here.
Commissioner Kalekini.
Aye.
Commissioner Kalepa is excused. Commissioner Kaniakua.
Aye.
Commissioner Lasua is excused. Commissioner Marfil. Commissioner Namuo is excused. Commissioner Ornelas. And Chair Watson.
Here.
6 members present. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. We will begin this morning with public testimony, followed by the carryover item from yesterday, item F5, and finally the J agenda. The commission will recess for lunch at 12 noon. If there are any remaining J agenda items, the commission will reconvene at 1 p.m. to finish. Okay, we have one testifier, Wayne Hirakawa. Yeah, you can come up front. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, just state your name and you can talk into the mic. That'd be helpful. Thank you.
Aloha mai. My name is Wayne Hirakawa. I'm here testifying on behalf of J9, which was supposed to be part of Patty Taruya's various concerns. This is in regards to a notice to vacate that we received as a subleasee of Hawaiian Community Development Board in regards to 911085 Enterprise Street, TMK 1-9-001-013, Kalailoa, Oahu. So my concern is, first of all, we got 30 days to get out. We've been paying tenant. We've been on time. We worked with environmental to make sure we're on par with all of our environmental assessments, and we use our yard as a staging yard for our trucks. There's not a lot to move, but the fact that we have to move and we have 30 days to get out was a little concerning for me. The fact that there was no contact from DHHL to reach out and say, here, we can help you find another place, or any kind of reach out to help us locate somewhere else in Kapolei. All we got was the 30 days, you got to get up. So that's why I'm here. I just wanted to find out, why is it that we just have to get out? There's no option. I heard there's other tenants down the road that are getting properties that are in the pennies per square foot. And there's a lot of work that has to be done to move into those places. But I think that DHHL should reach out to the subleasees and either try to relocate us or see how we can roll our current lease or sublease into a lease directly with the HHL. So that was my concern. I just wanted to find out if that is even on the talking table about that, because I'm not the one that has a lot of stuff to move, but we have other businesses there that are Native Hawaiians, and they all got the notice to vacate too, 30 days. So yeah, that was my main concern, just wanting to know if there is in fact any kind of move to help us relocate or develop a separate lease directly with the HHL instead of the Community Development Board.
Yeah, let me just say, because I was involved in that particular situation with HCDB, which I've since removed myself from that nonprofit. There's obviously a conflict in that me involving or responding might be inappropriate. But I will say that the department, the main objective, and as you know, that area is, you may have been a good tenant, but there's a mix. There's some bad ones, there's some that doing a lot of car repairs, and the concern is that the pollution of the site is a real concern. And so the cleanup is an objective, but also the month-to-month approach doesn't really facilitate the highest and best use from the standpoint of the department as well as the tenant. And so the intent, and based on our trust mandate in trying to get the highest value, but at the same time, just the needs of our Native Hawaiian beneficiaries, especially in that particular area where they're, little small contractors doing and trying to survive and all that. So we'd like to help those. But with respect to that particular parcel, the intent is to clear everybody off, not just you, but everybody. And then put it out to a long-term bid. And in the process, whoever wins will also be responsible for cleaning it up. And so hopefully we will, and apparently there's a good market for long-term leases where the tenant can then get financing to build warehouses and do it, as well as get it in return because they have a long-term lease. And that's kind of the standard approach that we're using now. We're trying to convert all our short-term RP tenants into long-term leases. So not only makes it better for the recipient, but it makes it better for our trust lands. So that will happen on this particular parcel that you're involved in. But I do feel that, especially those that have used the site appropriately, have paid their rent, and it's a transitioning situation that if additional time is needed, and we're not talking 6 months or anything like that, short term. We hopefully our staff will take that into account. I'm also, we are doing a lot of development in the area, in a situation right across the drainage canal. There's a 43 acre. We're going to start putting up. We have a developer that's going to invest close to $200 million in warehousing and other industrial space. We do have some other sites that we're looking at. And so we do want to work with you because if you're a good tenant and somebody that would want and we would welcome you to these sites. And then let me also say that most of our developments, we do take into account and give a certain preferential, as well as we want to have you guys succeed. So, we can make some adjustments on the rent and all of that. But this particular parcel, we got to clean it up. We got to get it converted into a long-term lease. And that is the objective, but we will work with you in trying to accommodate your needs. Okay?
Who would be the contact person to
You
move
can work
forward
with
that?
Richard Hulk and Calais Young. And then Richard is right over there. You can go talk to him. The good-looking guy. Okay.
Okay.
Smile, Richard. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Okay, the next person, Jonathan Alexander.
I was just here for the extension of the vacate notice. Same thing he was talking about.
Same too. I want to
Yeah.
talk to that guy then, Richard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just asking for extension
Yeah,
of time.
no sense me repeating what I said.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next testifier, Jeremiah Tamba.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, same objective, trying to ask for an extension.
Okay, we'll just talk to Richard out there. He's out there. You can work
Thank-
with him.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, one more, okay? Let's. Okay, Ryan. Please, state your name and, go ahead. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Everybody, nice and dry. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time. I'll try to keep it 2 to 3 minutes. My name is Ryan Eslava, Airman First Class Eslava. I currently serve part-time at the Hawaii Air Force National Guard. I'm at the 297th Combat Air Operations Squadron here in Kapolei. I love Kapolei. Currently speaking on behalf of 91-1085 Enterprise Avenue. Many years ago, I'd say about 8, Steve Hoke, and he took me in when I didn't have much. And I know between him and other organizations and individuals, there may be agreements and disagreements that I don't know, but one thing I do know is that Hawaii has always treated me well, and Steve Hoke has took care of me when I didn't have much, as I said. 2020, going into COVID, I lost my career due to the COVID vaccine mandate. And I have 3 kids, Royce, Remy, Ava, 5, 3, and 1, and my wife, Mia. It was pretty hard, you know, going from full-time status, military, to nothing. And the only thing that kept me alive and surviving was Steve Hoke, the Auto Acres, what we had. So it's hard to depart, and I understand that it has to be this way, and we respect the rules and the laws that are given by the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. So majority of us already started packing up and ventured off into finding different ways. However, some of us don't have any opportunities just quite yet. So I guess my testimony is just to request to maybe some, not a handout, but a hand up. If you guys have any opportunities for us to continue to provide for the economy of Hawaii and for our families as well. So other than that, thank you so much for your time, and aloha.
Yeah, Mr. Eslava, yeah, go meet with Richard. He's right outside, meeting with some of the other tenants in similar positions as you. Do you work for Steve Hoke or you're a tenant, subtenant?
I'm a tenant, sir.
Yeah, it's good to talk to, see if we can help you out on that.
Oh, thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah, but you know, the bottom line is we are going to be getting all the tenants off, including HCDB subtenants, as well as Steve Hope. And I don't know, how long have you been there?
8 years,
Yeah,
2018.
yeah, it's been quite a while for that particular property. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, right outside. Okay, the next testifier, Perry Mason.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I mean, I'm kind of nervous. First time I've been in something like this, yeah. Well, anyway, I own Mason's Toy and Recovery. I've been back at a parcel where they're trying to clean up since 2013. I have passed every environmental inspection 100%. Understand we have to get out. I have no problem with that. My problem is it's unrealistic for me to move in 30 days. That's why I'm here. You know, being there so long is like home, you know what I mean? I raised all my children on my business out of that property. You know, I have 17 kids and they all work for me, most of them, yeah. But they have all moved on now and now it's only me. So for me to move everything in 30 days, I'm not gonna make that deadline. So I'm here basically asking for more time to move. Yeah. I mean, if we can get a lease with Hawaiian Homes later on down the road, would be great, but unfortunately, I do repos. So if you guys see me at you guys' house, you know I'm there, just to repo cars, you know? But other than that, you know, I mean, I just asking for more time to move. That's it.
Yeah, Perry, I know you for a long time, and your activities and working with a lot of the at-risk kids is very admirable. And so, I got to say, you're kind of a exceptional guy in the community, and hope we can facilitate your continued working relationship with a lot of these kids and saving these kids. So do work with Richard, and like I said, we are doing some developments right around the corner from that site. And so, you might want to get some information on that development. Regarding temporary use of some other sites, it's a complex situation. So we do have other lands, but this one we definitely want to get cleaned up because
Understand.
we're really concerned about the environmental. You're familiar with that site. I mean, you got a lot of bad tenants over there. So,
Yeah. I
Okay.
also do a lot of trespass tours for you folks too, around the areas, Kapolei and in the back there. Okay,
okay.
thank you, I appreciate your
Okay.
time.
Thank you, Perry. Okay,
Let's call anybody else. Nope.
okay, agenda F5, for information only, Genesis Oil Solid Waste to Sustainable Fuel and Tire Processing regarding some lands in Honolulu, Eva. Frank Hall and Aaron. Or Anthony, excuse me.
Aloha kako.
Yeah, if you could state your names, it'd be great.
Aloha kako. For the record, Frank Hall, the Administrator for the Land Management Division. This morning, we're bringing for you an item for information only. We are here to discuss a receipt for a request to lease a parcel of Hawaiian homelands for the development of a solid waste and sustainable fuel renewable energy project and pyrolysis plant. The applicant is Genesis Oahu rather, and they are represented here today by Anthony Alto and Tim Newberry. They have a presentation for you, and they'll be here to facilitate any discussion that you may have. Go ahead, Johnny.
Aloha, Chair.
Aloha.
Aloha, members of the Commission. Thank you for allowing us to present our proposal to you today. My name is Anthony Alto, and with me is Jim Newberry. I apologize if I stumble a little on my presentation. I had a stroke 2 weeks ago, and I'm still recovering. We would like to build a pyrolysis biorefinery on DHL land to turn 1,300 tons a day of waste into 22 million gallons a year of renewable diesel. The project is called Genesis Oahu. It will produce no odors, no emissions, and no byproducts that require a landfill. What it will produce is 250 high-paying, long-term local jobs. Before I say anything more about the project, I'd like to say just a few words about who we are. I've lived here for more than 20 years. I make documentaries about Hawaii's most difficult problems, such as homelessness and climate change. I was chair of the Sierra Club here on Oahu for 6 years, and I currently serve on the board of directors of HEART. For his part, Tim has lived in Hawaii for 35 years, though his work has temporarily required him to relocate to the mainland. He's married to a kama'aina. His daughter was born and graduated from school here. And both of us, we were discussing this recently, want to have our ashes scattered when we die. I say this because although this is a commercial project, we are both motivated by a deep sense of aloha aina. How does that aloha aina apply in this case? Well, it's because Oahu faces a crisis in how we handle our opala. Could I have the next slide, please? What is the nature of that crisis that I just spoke of that is afflicting this county? H-Power's management contract and its purchase agreement, power purchase agreement with HECO both expire in the year 2032. At which point half the plant will be more than 40 years old. And the Department of Environmental Services, ENV, estimates that the cost to replace that capacity is more than $750 million. But in addition to that, H-Power is the single largest source of pollution in the state. And it will eventually be required to scrub those emissions. And ENV estimates the cost to do that at $800 million. So the cost to keep H-Power going eventually is going to be more than $1.5 billion that taxpayers on this island will be forced to pay. In addition to that, as you all know, H-Power produces 120,000 tons a year of toxic ash that has to go into the landfill. But the variance to operate the landfill expires in the year 2032. And the legislature voted last year to block the county's effort to find the alternative site for the landfill. And a new landfill typically takes 7 to 10 years and costs more than $100 to $150 million to plan, permit, and construct. So the pressure is mounting to allow the gulch to keep on operating for perhaps as much as 10 years. And that very much affects the residents of this side of the island. The next slide, please. So in response to this crisis, there's a need for and an opportunity to develop an alternative disposal model for our power. And because of that, ENV is currently working on an RFP for a demonstration project for a 200-ton per day waste to fuels plant, which we think vindicates the rationale for our project. Next slide, please. Genesis Oahu is a joint venture between ourselves, Blue Marble Innovations, and our technology partner, which is called Energy 3 International. E3I's patented technology has been operating on the East Coast for more than 7 years, and is currently in the process of building a 1,000-ton per day plant in the Dominican Republic, which would be the twin for the plant that we're proposing. Next slide. Pyrolysis, for those who don't know, is a very old technology. It's been around for more than 100 years. In fact, in World War II, more than 1 million vehicles were powered by it. They generally use wood chips. And what it is you heat, very put simply, you heat organic matter in a sealed system until it gets so hot that it goes through a phase change and changes from a solid to a gas. We then take that gas and refine it and distill it into renewable diesel. And we have patented a process which makes us the most efficient business in this area. Next slide, please. So the plant doesn't require a landfill. Pyrolysis, the only solid byproduct of pyrolysis is biochar. And this biochar would be graphene rich. And graphene is increasingly in demand in the high-tech industry and various other industries. The plant doesn't require any water. As you may know, 25% of municipal solid waste is water. And before we can put it through our system, we have to take the water out. So we take that water and refine it to irrigation quality. We've already talked to farms on the west side here, Kahumana, for example, who are very keen to get their hands on that water. We would retain some of the water on site and purify it to potable quality so that we could provide for sanitary needs for workers on the site. And it would be, we at a capacity, we'd be producing $2 million, 2 million gallons a year of irrigation water. And not only that, but the plant can paralyze materials that H-Power cannot take. So these are materials that are sent directly to the landfill, such as automobile shredder residue or wastewater sludge. So in doing so, we can help move Oahu to a point where it can consider operating without a daily landfill. The Department of Health is always going to require Oahu to maintain a landfill for emergency purposes, but this may be a way to get to us to a point where we wouldn't need to operate a daily landfill. Next slide. We have a lot of very solid backing. We have financial backing of more than $300 million. We have a technology performance insurance wrap from Aon and Lloyd's of London. We have manufacturing and system production warranties from brand name, internationally known companies. And I think it's fair to say that we have the engaged interest of the Mayor Blangiardi, and the City Managing Director, Michael Formby. In fact, Michael, if you go on to the next slide, please. Mike Formby has said that he would do whatever he needs to assist us with any county permits. The State Department of Health has told us that we don't need a clean air permit. We don't have a smokestack. We're not allowed to say that we have zero emissions, but we have near zero emissions. The biorefinery is not subject to PUC jurisdiction. A solid waste permit is required, and we anticipate it would take about 6 months to secure that. And our target, rather ambitious, I admit, target date to complete the permitting process and move on to construction would be a year from now. And our local building contractor is Nordic PCL. Next slide. As such, we anticipate that the only concern, or at least the major concern that that neighbors might have, would be odors. But our commitment is to be odor-free. The entire plant is indoors and under roof. The tipping room will be accessed by the trucks by passing through giant plastic curtains. And inside, there's a negative pressure environment. The air is sucked out and passes through HEPA filters. And so we think there's quite a small chance of any of that, any odors. The process requires, as I mentioned earlier, extracting the water. And after it's extracted, it then goes through a automated robotic system powered by AI, which removes 99% of the material, recyclable materials. And it produces, do you have that? It produces, it then homogenizes what is left and turns it into a pellet, a sort of a pellet that is then, it then goes into the
line that has been completely sterilized, pelletized, ready to be processed.
Yeah, that bag there is what it looks like after it's been dewatered, homogenized, and pelletized. And the process is completely self-contained. If there are emissions, then we're losing money because the gas is what we turn into a liquid fuel. So if the gas is escaping, in essence, we're losing money. Next slide, please. Finally, community benefits. We're committed to investing 1% of the profits in local community organizations and local community projects to be determined by the community. We would not be the ones deciding what the money should be put to. What our commitment is to hire locally. I don't think we are allowed these days to say that we would only hire Kanaka because of the way that the DEI has been shut down by this administration. But our commitment is to hire locally. And we've already had discussions with Leeward Community College about setting up a program to train the workers. And finally, the most important benefit is that we would start to help to clean up the environment on this side of the island by retiring, helping or giving the city the opportunity to retire H-Power, and by helping us get to a point where we can close the Wamanalo Gulch. So what we're asking for is your permission to approach the beneficiaries and talk to them and engage in a conversation about this project. Thank you very much.
You want to add anything?
No, I think you actually nailed most of it. So good job.
Anything you want to add? Frank?
We have no additional comments.
Okay. Good. In questions, Commissioner? Mike Lakini?
Okay. Well, I can start. Thank you, gentlemen, for the presentation. I guess just some general comments, maybe a couple questions. So, for my understanding, the ask here is you folks are interested in developing this project on DHHL lands to convert municipal solid waste into biofuel. So that's the end product.
Yep.
And with regards to the solid waste, well, first of all, I mean, it's important, yeah, engaging with the beneficiaries. I guess that'll be part of this due diligence, right? This is just FYI for us. So yeah, the community, the beneficiaries, number one, yeah, because we need their input and such. But and beyond that, on this particular project, so I see that H-Power is their contract is terminating soon.
2032.
2032. So have you folks engaged with, is it the county that produces the solid waste? Have you had discussions?
They don't want to negatively affect H-Power's finances. They don't want to affect its financial model. But there is a lot more waste that is collected by private haulers that the city doesn't collect. And what the mayor has told us is that it's, have at it. If you can get private haulers to sign contracts with you to take their waste to
Okay.
your facility, the city doesn't have a problem with that. And we already have letters of intent.
Okay,
For
with the city?
No, the letters of intent with the private haulers.
Okay, okay.
Sufficient to pencil out to make this project
Okay.
pencil.
So in the presentation, there is this technology is actually in place on the East Coast, you say?
Yes.
And then there's 1,000 ton per day facility in the Dominican Republic. What is the capacity of the facilities that's operating on the East Coast today?
That one is much smaller. It was originally their demonstration plant. Yeah. So It's located in Lenore City, Tennessee,
Mm.
and has been there for more than a decade.
Okay,
The technology was vetted at full scale, and as a result of the uh, information that we got back on the tests,
Right.
they decided to leave it in place.
okay,
So it's been operational ever since.
okay. So there seems to be a lot of due diligence that you folks will have to follow up on. This is great that you come before us way ahead of schedule so we can, think about it and see what other considerations and whatnot. So with regards to the fuel that's being produced by this process, have you folks already entered into any discussions as who the off-taker will be?
Yes, we have.
Okay,
You wanna-
Well,
There's a couple, and
I don't think we can say their names just yet, but
yeah.
no,
they're-
yeah, but it's all
they're
part
still
of your
under
due
NDA,
diligence.
but
I was just curious about that. Yeah, I'm certain you guys won't,
Yes,
capital investors won't do it if they don't have some fair return, et cetera. But I know,
the off-takers have said that the demand is there for more than we can produce.
okay,
Because
I believe that.
this fuel has been certified by the EPA as meeting their standard for what would be a drop-in fuel, same as you could pull up at a gas station
Uh-huh,
here and pump the fuel that we produce and put it into any diesel vehicle.
okay,
So in essence, Oahu, for the first time, will be producing its own fuel without having to import any.
Right.
So it's an import substitution.
Yeah.
And therefore saves the city a lot of money.
and we are dealing with off-takers that do work directly with DLA. So
That's the defense and the
logistics,
of
yeah.
the
Um, which gives us a little bit more of a strategic, I guess I want to call it just security, right? So our fuel is here local, it's made local, it can be used local. We don't have to worry about it being shipped in from someplace else that may or may not be, friendly to the United States at any point in time.
yeah, so I think this is exciting. I mean, I look forward to, further discussion and proposals from you folks. So is it correct that I read, so 22 million gallons of the biofuel would be produced? And then you
Yeah.
state that the annual profits would be 170 million
About,
approximately
based on 1% community benefits. So
Mhm.
22 million gallons of biofuel will generate 170 million of net profit.
150 to 170.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so community benefits is important. So when you come back with the proposals, make sure that that's prominent in there.
Yeah.
My suggestion. And again, very exciting. Look forward to what the next steps are. Frank, thank you for bringing this to us.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you,
the
Chair.
questions.
Yeah, I had a couple questions. It's my understanding, well, there's a process we got to go through, as you know, under HRS 171-95.3, where, it actually facilitates the issuance of a lease, like what you're talking about. But the process also requires it to, or us to kind of open it up to others that might be interested. Then you need to kind of provide some information regarding timeline and, the financial plan that you have and funding this $350 million venture. And then I guess you kind of providing us with the conceptual design. And we need the business, and to a certain extent, you provided that. And then I guess we definitely want to hear from our beneficiaries. I'm a little concerned though, when you talk, when it talks about, let's see, the processing of 1,000 tons per day in this particular plant. I know it's going to be enclosed, but I'm also concerned about the traffic, because
Mhm.
we're gonna have other types of development. There's a PV facility right next door. We're looking at possibly doing, which would be okay, a industrial park right adjacent. But there is some housing, Gentry is putting up right kind of up the street, and then you have the some you have the Veteran Center and some others. So I'm a little concerned about the impact this activity will have on your neighbors. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that's why we're looking for that particular site, because the location, when the trucks do come in, it would almost be like they're going to H Power, but instead of taking a right, they take a left. So we wouldn't be impacting traffic any more than it currently is, except when they cross over the gulch, right? So now that's onto DHHL property. That's when we would have a little bit more concern. But that's why we also are looking for a larger parcel than we actually need, because we want to have the ability to queue trucks if need be, you know, in a manner that's not going to be disturbing to other tenants in the area.
Well, I can see you maybe needing an area to store, because you're gonna have possibly a kind of a overflow of materials to be processed. I mean, it's
So-
not all from the truck to the this processing plant
So everything that comes in on a daily basis will be processed that day.
that day.
Yes.
Okay. Then what about the height of this? You know, it's adjacent to a airport.
Yeah.
So is there gonna be any issues regarding the height?
We're not expecting that right now. We're working with Group 70 to come up with some more concepts for the property. But as it is right now, we don't have any buildings that are over 30 feet.
Okay. And then the Malaikole is your route. There is that bridge.
Yep.
Have you guys addressed that issue? So you're getting over the drainage canal?
Well, as you are aware, Chair, DOT does have, sorry, as you're aware, Chair, DOT does have a project to widen the bridge. So we see the only problem there being how long it takes. You know that DOT sometimes isn't the fastest of organizations. And if it would help DOT move this project faster, then we would be prepared to put up funds to help do that in combination with other tenants in the area. And as I understand it, there have been some discussion between DOT and other tenants with the idea of being able to advance the bridge widening faster. So
Yeah, you know, the traffic, not only there's number of trucks you guys will be needing to use to get your material to the site. You know, we're adjacent or right in the same area. We're doing a large, what do you call it, raceway park. That is not only have a raceway park, but arena, hotel, and all kind of other good stuff. So that activity also will be requiring access to their site. So with the big trucks and, you know, maybe people going to the raceway events and what have you, I'm a little concerned about that and interaction and safety. So that's something that I'm concerned about. Now, what's the timing on this thing? Let's say, I see where you have, you know, consultation and preparing things, but you were mentioning, or in the write-up, you guys might be able to move forward on starting construction in the fourth quarter of this year. Is that realistic?
oh, is that
So I would say within the year. Maybe
Within a
the
year.
Timing next year.
this time? I mean,
It
that's what
depends.
we're aiming for. We're aware that, I mean, I recently built an Ohana space. It took me 32 months to get a permit for my Ohana space. So we are aware that we're being perhaps a little optimistic and ambitious in saying that we would have all of our permits in place within a year. But we prefer to be ambitious and to aim for that. If it gets pushed back further, then we have to live with that. But we would like to get this done as fast as we can, assuming, of course, that it meets with your approval and that of the beneficiaries as well. We realize this is just the start of the process, and we have to consult with people.
And I think we want to be ambitious because of our funding situation. So funders that we deal with, they're looking to invest in other projects. So if we can't keep this one kind of moving along, then they may look at other projects for us. So we want to keep going as quick as we can go.
Now, does this project qualify for any tax credits?
Yes.
It does. Okay, that's good. What else? So any other questions, commissioners?
I have questions.
Commissioner Ornelas?
Aloha, thank you so much for your presentation. First off, I would like to know, would you live near this facility?
Absolutely.
Why?
First of all, just personally, because I think it's great for the environment. So I'm all about that. So I would definitely be very interested. And the fact that it's so high tech, there's so much to be interested in the actual process that we take. As Anthony alluded to earlier, it's a concept that maybe a lot of folks don't know about, but as a phase change it sounds very
High tech.
Yeah,
It sounds
it's actually quite old school because, not to get too far into the weeds, but if you've ever gone camping, this is the easiest way for me to describe the transition, right? So if you ever looked into the fire, if you're camping, there's a very small area from between the log and the flame. That's where we live. That is a transition. That's a phase change from a solid to a gas to a flame. The good part is we don't have the flame. So everything that we do is oxygen starved. It's a closed loop system. So there's no way for us to ever have combustion. So that's another reason why I would live next to it. Do we create a gas? Temporarily, we create a gas, but we're mostly into a fuel. And if you're interested in fuels, excuse me, diesel fuel doesn't just ignite like that. It has to have the right conditions to do so. So with a flash point that's, relatively high, I would not be concerned with any environmental reasons why I wouldn't live there. So, and because we're doing everything that we can to keep it all enclosed in a building, filtration, all that kind of stuff, I'd much rather be located next to this facility than I would Waimanalo Gulch, because there you have no protection. The smells and the truck dust and all those constituent things for the environment would not be something that I would want to be next to. So I'd much rather be next to this plant.
The other thing I'd say is that we didn't mention in the presentation is it's our intention to create an education center on site at the plant and to bring groups of school kids, or frankly, any member of the public to come and look at it and see what's happening there. We think that people by and large are too divorced from what happens to their Opala. It's out of sight and it's out of mind. And it is what happens now is pretty ugly. What happens at HPAR, what happens at the recycling R&R recycling plant, what happens at the Gulch. Most people don't get to see it. We want them to come and see this, and we think that they'll be pleasantly surprised. In fact, if we can, we'd like to build in what we do into the school curriculum as part of environmental studies or something like that.
Okay, thank you. I also echo the concerns of our chair because of there are plans for that general location. What other sites are you considering on this island for your operation?
At the moment, we've looked at Campbell and our preference is to do it on DHHL land because you have these industrially zoned lands. And one of the benefits of this is that it would provide DHHL with a source of revenue, dependable source of revenue for 3 decades.
So, okay. So I think that moving forward, just from a financial standpoint, is we basically a SWOT analysis would be important. So when we talk about community benefits and I have some concerns there, how would the department benefit when they could be putting somebody else on that parcel, doing another less invasive, maybe less controversial operation? So why would the department choose you?
Well, that's a hard question to answer, but but I mean, if you have alternative uses for that land, then you should explore them. I mean, we're not saying that we're the only game in town. We're not saying you have to do it with us, but we think that this is something that would be particularly good for your beneficiaries because of the environmental benefits. You speak as if there's only an environmental negative from this plant, but we think that the positives on the environmental front far outweigh the negatives. And also there's the question of the jobs. We think that those are the sorts of jobs that we should be looking for, that have required skills that we can give them that will provide long-term, high-paying jobs. So those are some of the reasons.
Okay,
Just to add on to that, I mean, in our pro forma, what we currently have right now in our operational expenses and salaries is $22 million a year is going to be dispensed out into the community with the various jobs.
Thank you for that. My final question, can you describe for us on the record, what does this skill set look like where you would be hiring local? Because just intuitively, I would imagine that this would require a very specific skill set. So can you describe for us in general,
Take that.
how would our local, you define it as local jobs?
Correct.
So what do these locals look like and what skills do they currently possess that they would be attracted to and hired by you?
So I think first and foremost, which we had mentioned earlier, was we want to start a training program with either UH or Leeward to actually train. So it would be an 18-month training process. But the jobs, the high-tech jobs we're talking about, we have a material recovery facility as part of our overall facility. And Anthony said that does run on AI and it runs on robotics. So those are 2 jobs that are very high-tech that do require, some additional training and knowledge. Some of the other jobs that we have could be a little bit more like forklift operators and obviously trucking. We have the fuel side of things, so we're going to have some chemists. So there are some jobs that can be trainable. So that's why we're very interested in doing that training with the college so they can get it, I don't know whether it would be an associate's degree, but some kind of degree from either UH or from Leeward to train them for these specific jobs. I mean, it seems like in the STEM programs within some of the schools right now, they're already doing robotics. So that's terrific. We can just build on that and then kids can go to college to learn that, of which we would be subsidizing that education. So we feel it's really, obviously both Anthony and I we have this, we really feel Kama'aina. And so we want to take care of our own. Your own is our own. And we don't want to be, portrayed as coming in from the mainland to do a project. We both are very much ingrained in the fabric of Hawaii. So we want to do things here. So I don't know, that kind of answers your question a little bit. So we get the training to bring the folks in.
It does, but this is a substantial outlay of capital.
Yes.
And so I'm sure that you have done all your or not all, but you have done much, and I will acknowledge that. I would imagine much due diligence and research. But I would imagine with that kind of outlay of capital, human and financial capital, that when you build, you need to be ready to hit the ground running.
Yes.
And so that piece about the training, I can't really see that happening.
So all of that, but
Eventually, yes, but I
no,
would
all of that
imagine
has to
to,
happen like immediately.
right,
Because it'll take us 24 months to build out this facility. So within that 24 months, they're going to get the knowledge, experience, and then they're going to get some hands-on training as well. So we may send them to Tennessee to work on that specific project, for a week or something like that, just so they can see it, they can experience it, and they can engage with the folks who are running it there. We will have folks from all of our various vendors to come in and train folks on it. And we may retain them for a certain period of time, but our goal is to have that transition as quick as possible.
thank you very much.
And one other thing is that, if I may, is that we won't be at full, we probably won't be at full capacity when we open. So the requirement for staff to staff the plant will ramp up. It won't be day one, we need 250. Day one, we may need 150, something like that. So we will phase the workers in as the capacity of the plant increases.
And the fact that we're running 24/7, so we're 3 shifts. So that would, that'd give folks an opportunity to maybe take a night shift if they had to take care of their kids during the day. I know we talked about having the space to do education within the facility, but there's also a good possibility that we could bring in or make space available for daycare, for instance. That hasn't been fully vetted yet, but if the need is there, then, we'll certainly look into what we can do for that.
Mahalo.
Okay, any other questions? If not, thank you very much.
Mahalo.
Oh,
Thank you.
Mahalo.
we've
Mahalo.
got 2 testifiers. Demont?
Good morning. Demont Kalai Manaole, co-manager of Ho'omanapono LLC, Native Hawaiian Advocacy Corporation operating out of the Waianae Coast. I was gonna say this, bro. Hell no. We come from Waianae, bro. Waianae has been the trash ground of people that thinking that they can just come to the west side and just dump everything over here. We have been battling the city for years because of Waimanalo Gulch. We have been battling PVT in Waianae, in Nanakuli. And now these guys come from the mainland and they come here and build on our homelands, on DHHL lands, to build something like this. Hey, okay, you guys can dress them up any way you want to. But I can tell you right now, bro, I've been in a lot of these meetings for years on the west side. And west side will rise up against this issue. We will rise up against it. We will not tolerate the department thinking that they can just run roughshod over us by bringing people like this here to sweet talk us into thinking that we can do something positive. The raceway track and the hotels you guys build, we love that. We love that idea because that is something that is for the people. This thing here, if they think it's so great then let them go do them at Waimanalo Gulch. Let them set up on shop over there in Waimanalo Gulch. You don't have to truck nothing nowhere. You can have your buildings all over there in Waimanalo Gulch. The last meeting I was at Kalaniʻōnele Beach Park, when the city came over there just a couple of weeks ago, they got an earful from our people. They wasn't even prepared. But we told them, one of the things I told them, I said, you know what, if you guys love this idea of Waimanalo Gulch so much, then go take PVT and go put them over there in Waimanalo Gulch. I can't even think straight right now. I'm so beside, this is not a good idea. This is really not a good idea. And I don't know how I can explain this to you guys, but if the commission would just come to the west side, come to Waianae, and come to any meeting that will talk about this issue with this offer right here, I can tell you right now, bro, you would get one hell no on the majority of the people that are gonna come out for that meeting. This is, I don't know who will decide to even offer this. Maybe it's a good try to do that, but hell no. One, on the west side, we say hell no. But on Hawaiian homelands, hell no. I'm done. I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, the next testifier, Jan Makepa.
Aloha, Jan Makepa. I am speaking not as leadership for Waianae Valley Homestead Community Association, but as a concerned resident. So, in listening to all of this, doing a little bit research, there's a couple of pros and cons that I see about this project. And so some of the pros that I see is that, yes, there are benefits. There is money concerned that I feel like that 1% could benefit beneficiaries. I think if the department was to ever consider something like this, that they might be able to consider collecting homestead trash for this processing. But I also see, like I said earlier, the 1% could be a community benefit that could back beneficiaries. So basically, if you're going to pay that 1%, I would rather that 1% go directly to beneficiaries. So that's some of the pros that I found. But some of the negative things that I found also is that this emissions is very toxic. I found that there's been explosions that's happened in Denmark, India, China, Russia, Germany. There is also a potential for exposure to toxic emissions to the workers that are going to be working there. And so what is the plan for this organization to remedy that? We're looking at long-term work for 150 workers. What does that look like as far as what kind of health issues that might come up later on or in their senior years, maybe after they retire, so on and so forth. When you talk about it being close to H power, so instead of going right to go H power, you go left, I'm assuming that's closer to the ocean. So what are the impacts to our ocean? Because you say that there's no trash, there's no emissions, but there's also a lot of trucks that are going to be trucking in the trash. I followed rubbish trucks that are on the freeway where the rubbish is flying all out of the truck, all on the side of the road. We cannot stop the rubbish from blowing out if the wind blows. And if that's going to go to the ocean, how is this company going to remedy that? And then, I just kind of touched on the syngas. I don't really know what that is. I haven't yet done a deep dive on that. But it seems like a lot of the things that I've read, and I'm probably going to go back and read more, does not say that this is a safe project to do. And, I kind of feel like if it's on Hawaiian homelands, then there's a possibility that our beneficiaries can benefit. but why hasn't other state lands or city lands taken a look at as well? And so I kind of feel like the cons outweigh the pros. And yeah, this is some scary stuff. And I think we all need to be a little bit more educated on what we're getting into if this is a consideration for the department. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you. Nani Peterson?
Aloha kakayaka chair, aloha commission. That was a heavy one. And I humbly remind the commission of their fiduciary duties of the act. Yeah, that the purpose of the act is to put us in homes, to malama us, the kanaka uiwi, before any of this. And that's not completed yet. No to this particular situation. I'm tired of foreigners coming and using little words that they use in their presentations to say that they have an understanding of what it means to be Kanaka Oiwi, because you don't, and you never will understand what our struggles and movements are. This education piece that you speak about, let me back up real quick. Our protocol in Hawaii is that you come to the people. And you should have come to neighborhood board at the bare minimum to talk to us first in Waianae about what your plans were to come over here and talk to DHHO. That would have been appropriate. And that would have allowed a lot of our people here in Waianae to speak about this matter. And so I suggest that for the next time that you try to implement, and that should be something that policy puts into play. They come to us first at the community level before they come to you folks, because we need to be here to represent ourselves. Yeah, and we got busy lives, which is why a lot of us are not here at the moment. I'm shaking right now because we allow too much of this type of things to happen before looking at our people and taking care of our people. Yeah, education, great thing. I'm all about education. Maybe next time you should actually pull or look for those that have those kanaka oiwi, that have those palapala that you so need to get to that level. Gather them up, take them to your plants, go check them out. And they can make a decision on that as well. Makahana ka'ike is what we teach our people. And that is something that you should understand too, as a visitor here. There's so much things that I have to say about this. It is not safe. You cannot tell me that it's safe. You have not done your complete due diligence on that to provide here for us here today. And so go back to your homework. Because for us, Mauka to Makai and everything in between, and if you don't understand that, mountain to ocean and everything in between, including us, needs to be considered in this, and it has not been. Your fiduciary duties, commission, is what is most important and what is needed for our people today. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you. Next testifier, Scrappy Podcast.
Aloha Chair, Aloha Commission, Loa Apine, future president of Pahe'ehe'e Homestead Community Association. I had a great conversation with Uncle Charles Ka'ai and learning about what has happened to Pahe'ehe'e Homestead Association. You know, there's a lot of projects that are unfinished or still need funding for. And, you know, I heard the guy say this is a potential revenue maker. So my question to him is, okay, if this is a potential revenue maker for Hawaiian Homes and more specifically for beneficiaries, what's the amount? I'd like to know what the net profit is. After you guys pay overhead and everything else, I'd like to know how much. And then also, I echo everything everybody said before me. Like, I am 33 years old, 34 years old, houseless, have a job, commitment school graduate, UH Hilo graduate. I'm very talented, yet I can't even get one house. I gotta go back and forth between my dad's place, Apahe'ehe, and Ainamalu here. I have a job. I have a hard time trying to focus so I can do my job well, you know? And you guys pandering to these holies. Oh, if you gotta say that you kama aina, you not kama aina, bro. I feel very well that I'm kama aina. What is that? You're not kama aina, bro. You never even come talk to the kama aina. How you kama aina if you don't talk to kama ainas? So my suggestion is that you guys come and talk story with the people first. You come talk to us, and then we will qualify you guys. Not the commission, not the chair. The people will qualify you. And if we deem you appropriate to use our lands, if we think it's fit to help us, and maybe we might get called out of this. That's our last thing that we want. We want to make sure that our people get taken care of. Because me as on Keiki, 33 years old, I'm struggling. And I'm doing my damnest to make sure that I am an upstanding Hawaiian citizen. So, to my elders, sorry for my tone. I get excited when I share these kinds of stuff because, as Nani said, right, the struggle is real. And it's hard to for a young 50%, actually 69% Hawaiian to figure out his life while not having a home, yeah, and going between places. So it's very hard, yeah. And so when I hear these kinds of conversations, I'm progressive, okay, and I love this kind of innovation and thinking about the future. But I really think this company should consider working with PVT or Waimanalo Gulch to get all that opala out and clean, right? Is that a viable option to consider? Is work with PVT and whatnot to remove that trash from Aina? And I thank you for your time and for listening. Mahalo.
Thank you very much. Let's see. We're going to go into the J agenda now. No, that's, thank you. Thank you, Anthony. To ensure that we can accommodate all testimonies within our allotted time, we kindly ask each of you to be as concise and efficient as possible. Please limit your remarks to 10 minutes to allow everyone in the opportunity to be heard. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated and will help us ensure a productive and timely session. So we'll start with, okay, J1, Jan Makepa.
Aloha. Leah, can I share my screen? Or Mike?
Do you have something to share? Huh? Oh. And do you have something to share?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, you have co-host.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Aloha, Jan Makepa with the Waianae Valley Homestead Community Association. A couple of things that I'm bringing to the table today. Topics of discussion is Aina Ike. For those that don't know, Aina Ike is the name of the parcel that we've got through the department on General Lease number 302. I'll be talking about Article 2, Section 3, as well as the utilities that Auntie Laurie Buchanan had requested for Kokua for, and then a couple of issues on Kaupuni Park. So the general lease, the Homestead Association is requesting an amendment to our lease. The purpose of this amendment is to revise Article 2, Section 3 of the general lease number 302 to address some of the concerns raised by our association and its partner tenants regarding the conditions under which the lease may be terminated. So this amendment seeks to provide greater security and stability, therefore facilitating long-term planning and investment. So the original language in our lease states that there is a right to withdraw reserved under the Section 3 of Article 2 and shall be exercised only after not less than 2 years prior written notice to the lessee. So basically, it's saying that the department can withdraw our lease with a 2-year notice. So the revised language that we're asking for, oh, I'm sorry. The revised language that we're asking for, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go back. So the revised language that we're asking for is the right to withdraw reserved under this Section 3 of Article 2. And I see that, I don't know if that's a mistake because the original language says Section 3 of
Auntie,
Article 2. I'm sorry,
no,
Leah?
we cannot see your screen anymore. It stopped
Okay.
sharing. Just letting you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just stop sharing and then I'll just speak on it. Okay, so the revised language that we're asking for is the right to withdraw reserved under this Section 3 of Article 2. I'm not sure if that's something that's wrong in there because it's actually Article 2 of Section 3. But the revised language we're asking is that it shall be exercised only under exceptional circumstances and with not less than 3 years prior written notice to the lessee. Exceptional circumstances include but are not limited to unforeseen governmental mandates or natural disasters that necessitate the reallocation of resources. And so the rationale for this amendment was designed to provide the homestead and our partner tenants with a more stable leasing environment by extending the notice period from 2 years to 3 years and limiting the circumstances under which the lease may be terminated. And what this does is it aims to reassure that the funders have support for long-term planning and development. So that's basically what we're asking for, because when we're going after grants and they look at our general lease and they see that at any time they can be given 2 years notice to vacate, then of course our funders are going to be skeptical about giving us grants to go ahead and do what we need to do. So, we're asking the department, we're asking the commission if they can approve this amendment and for land management to expedite the processing of this amendment to the general lease, so that our association and our partners can go ahead and move forward. We've been waiting for a revision and, so we're asking if we can go ahead and get this expedited, or if the commission can go ahead and take a look at this, get this approved. Maybe the verbiage got to be changed, and so that we can go ahead and move forward. And so, our partner tenants are ready to move forward, and we're asking for the commission's help and support in this matter. Okay. The second thing I wanted to talk about was the utilities. So we had requested a few months ago, Auntie Laurie Buchanan and I reached out to the commission in requesting assistance in locating blueprints or identifying the utility connections for Aina Ike. Unfortunately, we have not yet received any response from the department. So, our concerns and request was the utility hookups. So we would like to know if the department can assist with the costs associated with these utility hookups, and then the plumbing issues due to the removal or damage of all the plumbing fixtures on the property. We're unable to turn on the water without risking significant flooding on the property. And so we're once again seeking the commission's help in this urgent matter as we continue to allow our partnering tenants to also move forward, and we greatly appreciate any assistance you folks can provide. The next item that I want to talk about is our Parks and Recreation. So our homestead has been working with Department of Parks and Recreation's rep Jack Torres with Leeward Oahu District Manager and his team to move us forward with our playground apparatus. So other reps that have supported us through this journey has been Representative Kika Tapeni with Andrea Tupola's office, and also Tanya Ka'aina, who represents Chris Muraoka. And then, of course, Stacy Lynn Eli with the department, and Emily Park for the Trust for Public Lands, to name a few. So the current apparatus includes a playground and a fitness area for parents and kupuna using the park to exercise. So basically, the city and county will provide the playground and the fitness area, and hopefully we can also add in a swing. But our ask also is if we can have Chair Cully Watson open up communication lines with Parks and Recreation's Director Laura Thielen, that will allow our association to work with the city and county's Leeward District Manager and Parks Grounds Improvement Supervisor to add amenities otherwise not included with the city playground. And what this will do is it will allow our homestead to create a more impactful outdoor experience for our residents. And the reason why we're asking if Chair Watson can speak with Director Laura Thielen is that as an association, we understand that the department had given the city and county the general lease for the park. Our association supported that. But, we're not wanting to step on anybody's toes and say, well, we're the association and we want this and this and this, and we just going to add them to the park. We want to make sure that we're paw with everybody, that we're not stepping on anybody's toes. And when we talked to Jack Torres about it, he suggested that it might be a good idea for Chair Cully Watson to open up the communication lines with Laura Thielen. We've also been told that she's very open about having communities also be a part of the park process in working with the city and county. So that is our ask for our Kaupuni Park. And then I think that's all I have for now. So mahalo. Any questions?
I'd be happy to kind of work with you and talk to Laura Thielen. We'll get something going on that.
Thank you. And right now I'm not, we tried for the DHHL grants. We were denied, and I understand why. We're still learning a lot moving forward. And I'm not sure what it'll look like as far as Kaupuni Park, but I just wanted to make sure that we had that communication lines open, and that when our association does go ahead and want to try to get all of these extra amenities, that everybody is already in the know and we're not coming new with all of this information.
Thank you very much. Okay, J2, Kalani Akea Wilson, John McBride, and Kepa Kaeo.
Aloha kako.
Hello.
Just checking on my PowerPoint that I sent in to Michael. Is he able to put it up?
1 second.
Oh, there's a photo before this one. I sent two. This may have been the first one. I sent a revised one right after. If not, I can share from my screen.
Okay, you have co-host.
Okay. Are you guys able to see it?
Not yet. Not yet. Okay. I think Michael has it on our end, so he's gonna share.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
There.
Kungifa Choi, aloha kako. Aloha commissioners, glad to be here today. Um, especially Commissioner Kaneakua, thank you for the funding from the East West Center. I defended my dissertation successfully. Hawaiian language professor, Liona Wong, senior professor at UH Manoa, trustee Noilani Goodyear Kaopua, my chair, religious professor Marie Alohalani Brown, genocide ex professor Jairus Grove, international legal scholar. And to the right, we have political asylee, Kurd, Nevi Solguk, international law, indigenous politics, and genocide. So now my book, hopefully will be coming out within the next year, focuses on Americanization, genocide on Native Hawaiians. Specifically, I'm looking at the 100% full-blooded Native Hawaiians are close to extinction already, and the remaining half-bloods were around 30,000 left in the world today. Next slide, please. So we turned in our End the Waitlist program October 23rd. We have 5 different projects with 4 different government departments. And what we're implementing is took me about 10 years to read 16,000 articles in Hawaiian language from 1834 to 1948, is our Luakini system. The Luakini system incorporates what people have been termed the kauhale system. Kauhale just means many houses, but how those houses and the people interact with the environment, with Malama Aina and Aloha Aina, that's what I'm bringing to the table that no one's brought to the table for over 2 centuries. So kungi fa'achoi, everyone, and ha'oli lahana e kamehameha e kolu, kaui ke oli on his birthday today. Next. So I'd like to reiterate our governor's office general support and all of our letters through our beneficiary consultation over the past decade, and really being boots on the ground on Mauna Kea from 2014. So now we've been on Mauna Kea for 12 years now. And Patrick Kahawaiola'a, Komike Kupuna Aina Ho'opulapula, Ka'aka Swain, Keokaha Community Association, Kau'i Alameda, Panaeva, Lawa'e, Kekahuna, Maku'u Market, Ron and Doreen Kodani, Pi'i Honua Homestead Association, Duncan Settle, President Ka'umana Homestead Association, Royal Order of Kamehameha, Chief of Kona, Kohala, Hilo, Puna, Keone Kalave Kuomo'o Legacy Foundation, restoring Luakini Malai Ha'akoa right now on Kauai in Waialua. Commissioner Michael Kaleakini, Trustee Oha, who was involved with Mauna Kea, Dan Ahuna, and the Mayor of Hawaii, Kimo Alameda. So when you approve our program, you're approving this beneficiary community that's really instrumental in trying to rehabilitate Mauna Kea and its lands, I think for over 3-4 decades. now, and I think this is the fifth administration that we've been trying to have the approval to actually do work on Mauna Kea lands, Aina Mauna legacy lands. And so since this general support, our support has grown. Next slide, please. So now, Uncle Pat and all of the community president associations communicated to all of these senators for the beneficiary wait list that Dr. Kalania, Kea, and Kepa will be leading our programs on the Big Island, hopefully to end the wait list and to work in collaboration with the HHL moving forward. So we're not asking for the whole island, but just a small little parcel of the DHHL lands on the Aina Mauna legacy to fulfill the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act and hopefully end the Americanization genocide that's been targeting Native Hawaiians for over a century. That'll be laid out in my book when it comes out. Next. So I just want to read a small excerpt that's already approved in my dissertation by my professors. The 100% full-blooded Hawaiians have been eliminated and are near extinction. Crimes against humanity continue to target the native Hawaiian population, causing deaths that have continued for 5 generations. Not even the congressionally approved 1921 Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, which was created to provide federal protection and rehabilitation across all these areas for Hawaiians, made any headway. And those 8 areas are the 8 components of Raphael Lemkin's genocide, which is physical, social, economical, political, religious, moral, and biological. Those are the 8 components of genocide that Hawaiians have been targeted under over a century. In fact, more Native Hawaiians continue to die while waiting for their rehabilitation rather than being placed on the land. The Department of Hawaiian Homelands is a state entity that continues to violate sometimes their own fiduciary duties, which is ruled a breach of trust by the state of Hawaii Supreme Court in 2020 and the Ahuna case prior to that. The Department of Hawaiian Homelands is a state entity and is unable right now to totally fulfill its trust obligations to Congress and Native Hawaiians. And, you know, you guys need the assistance and we're here to help. And we just want to help to end the wait list. The Office of Hawaiian Affairs is also a state entity and they cannot lead Hawaiians to the justice. They're actually just a transitional entity in the state. They're actually supposed to transition out and provide us independent venue to operate ceded trust lands funds. So even they have a little challenge. And the Office of Hawaiian Education, also a state entity, and through my examples, they're also unable to totally provide protection to Hawaiian teachers and lead Hawaiians to justice. So with that said, that'll most likely be in my book unless the editor strikes it out. We'll be coming with hopefully before the end of the year 2026. Next. So I just want to share with everybody, mahalo for this collaboration. Let's work on this together. 11,000 waitlisters, at least for Hawaii Island, on the land immediately. But in order for the waitlisters to do that, we need our proposal that was in the February meeting, submitted for the February meeting, approved. And there's so much facets to this. It took 300 pages and 10 years of research to go into re-implementing the Luakini system, which we seek to do on the Big Island. And you know, when I looked at the Aina Mauna Legacy website on DHHL, there's one really important beneficiary consultation meeting missing. And that's the 2017 meeting Uncle Pat reminded me of with Joby Masagatani. And I was wondering on your guys' website, why isn't the 2017 beneficiary consultation summary included with all the other beneficiary consultation meeting minutes that's on your guys' website? Kepa?
Hello, commissioners. Mahalo for you guys' time. And just like to reiterate that we appreciate the time and the money that you guys put into these community outreach meetings, and we look forward to collaborating and getting these missions accomplished. There's a lot of beneficiary kupuna and waitlisters have been waiting for a long, long time, and we're excited. You guys should be excited, and we're just happy to move forward in any manner that should. Mahalo for your time.
Okay, thank you very much, both of you guys. Okay, the next item, J3, Garen Moser, I think he already, oh, okay.
Aloha Chair Watson, Commissioners, members of the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. My name is Garen Mauser. I am a native Hawaiian. I'm a retired United States military veteran, and I'm the owner of Rev Limit Auto Center, an automotive repair shop that has proudly served the West Oahu community for the past 9 years. Mahalo for giving me the opportunity to speak today on regards of the Kapolei community base yard, with eviction. I'd like to begin a moment with reflects on what this business means to me. Earlier this year, after months of struggling without power, after downsizing operations, and after doing everything I could just to keep the doors open from closing permanently, I finally reached a point where I was able to reopen the shop. That moment wasn't just about turning the lights back on. It was about bringing my business back to life. It was about calling my employees back to work. It was about continuing something that I have spent the last 9 years building from the ground up. And now after overcoming all of that, I stand here facing the possibility of losing it due to circumstances that were completely out of my control. Rev Limit Auto Center represents 9 years of dedication, sacrifice, and personal investment. I built this business from the ground up with the goal of providing honest, reliable, and affordable automotive services to our community. Today, we provide automotive mechanical repair, auto body collision repair, and 24/7 towing services. We also work with insurance companies, including Geico, to help customers navigate repairs during difficult situations. Operating at this level, significant infrastructure, vehicle lifts, diagnostic systems, collision repair equipment, and specialized tools is needed. Everything in my shop represents years of investment and hard work. This is not just a business that can simply pack up and relocate overnight. One of our missions has always been to make automotive repair accessible, affordable for the people of West Oahu. We offer discounts to kapuna in need, military discounts, and as a veteran myself, giving back, I take that very seriously. Rev Limit Auto Center is also a place of opportunity. I approximately employ 80% Native Hawaiian with my employees. Providing employment within our community is something I take great pride in. We also partner with Napa Auto Care for a paid apprenticeship program, allowing individuals to learn skilled trade while earning income. In addition to my business, I created a nonprofit called HKK Foundation, which stands for Ho'ona'a Kapilika'a, meaning automotive repair, education, and learning. The mission of HKK Foundation is to establish vocational training programs in automotive mechanical repair and auto body collision, focused on creating opportunities for Native Hawaiians and young adults to our community. Rev Limit Auto Center is not separate from this vision. It is the foundation that makes it possible. The plan for Rev Limit is to provide physical location for hands-on training, support the program through business revenue, and offer real-world experience and mentorship. This is not just an idea, it's a working plan designed to create long-term career pathways and economic opportunity. If Rev Limit Auto Center is displaced or forced to shut down, it would not only impact my business, it would directly impact the ability to move forward with the foundation and its mission. Rev Limit operates within the Kapolei Community Base Yard, consisting approximately about 5 acres in Kalaeloa. Within that property, my business occupies 15,000 square feet, where I have built and established my automotive facility over the past years. During that time, I have invested heavily into improving that space, including fencing, asphalt, concrete, and other infrastructures necessary to safely operate automotive repair. These were long-term investments made in good faith. On April 30th, 2025, without notice, our power to our parcel was shut off. We were informed by our landlord, Steve Holt of Auto Acres Inc., that this was due to a dispute over the power bill. At that time, we were told that issues were being worked on while still being required to pay rent. Without power, we were forced to reduce operations significantly. Despite that, I continued to employ my workers, which placed a heavy financial burden on the business. We experienced significant financial losses. We attempted temporary solutions, including renting power equipment, Sunbelt rentals, but that cost over $8,000 per month, which was not sustainable. On May 9th of 2025, my landlord, Steve Holt of Auto Acres Inc., received an eviction notice requiring property to be vacated within 45 days. As a tenant, I was not provided clear direction. I reached out to CBRE, and I was verbally advised that I would be offered at least once legal matters were resolved between Steve Holt and ACDB. And during that time, I was also advised from CBRE not to pay Mr. Holt because he was not, he didn't have any legal rights to collect rent. This created significant uncertainty while I was trying to keep my business afloat. Due to ongoing issues, power issues, Rev Limit, we were forced to shut down the business for approximately 6 months. Early this January of 2026, I made a major financial investment into an off-grid power system in order so we could reopen shop again. But on February 25th, 2026, representatives from the Department of Hawaiian Homelands informed us that the department was taking control over Kapolei Community Base Yard, and the tenants would be required to vacate. My business has been caught in the middle of a dispute involving Steve Holt, Kevin Andrews, and ACDB. After everything my business has endured, power loss, downsizing, financial hardship, shutdown, and reinvestment, I'm now facing displacement. Relocating an automotive facility requires time, planning, infrastructure, and significant financial resources. Without that time, that future of my business is at serious risk. It would also significantly delay or potentially prevent the ability to move forward with HKK Foundation, which is designed to create future opportunities for Native Hawaiians through vocational training. As a Native Hawaiian, this business represents more than just income. It represents self-sufficiency, opportunity, and a way to give back to my community. I stand here with respect. I'm not here to oppose the department. I'm here to ask for fairness and understanding. I would like to respectfully offer a path forward. My first and preferred option is the opportunity to enter into a direct lease with the department, for the portion of the Kapolei community base yard that I currently occupy. I'm willing to pay a fair, reasonable lease directly to the department. In addition, I offer resources, equipment, manpower to assist the cleanup and the improvement of the entirety of the Kapolei community base yard, helping move the area towards a more Pono condition, because it's been majority of the space has been very bad for a very long time. While it is my preferred path, I also want to express that I'm willing to work with the department on alternative solutions, including relocation if necessary. However, I respectfully ask that any relocation option take in consideration the specific operational needs of an automotive repair facility. That includes proper space for automotive use, safe, accessible roadways for customers, tow trucks, and vendors, existing infrastructure, or a realistic pathway to develop it. Based on my research, some potential locations, such as areas in Pasha, present significant challenges, including limited access, undeveloped road conditions, and lack of existing infrastructure. Developing a space like that would require substantial investment of time and resources, which could delay or jeopardize my ability to continue operating. If relocation becomes necessary, I would also be open to opportunity to enter into a general lease for undeveloped property where I can invest time, resources needed to properly build out a facility. My goal is to work collaboratively with the department and find a solution that is realistic, sustainable, and beneficial for both parties, while also preserving the opportunity to move forward with the initiatives like HKK Foundation. Rev Limit All Center is not just a business. It's 9 years of my life, my sacrifice, and my commitment to this community. It's also the foundation of something greater, creating opportunity, training future generations, and building pathways through HKK Foundation. If this business is lost, it is not just livelihood that is affected, it is also the future opportunities that I am working to create for others. I have already fought through challenges that could have ended this business, and I'm still here because I choose to keep going. All I am asking is for fair opportunity to continue and the chance to move forward in a way that benefits both the department and the community. Mahalo for your time, your service, and for hearing my testimony. I apologize for the lack of, there's supposed to be support letters and some pictures of the amount of investment and improvements in the packet that I presented you, but I dropped the ball in inserting that.
I don't worry about it.
But yeah,
Have you talked to Mr. Hook over there?
I have not. I just waited here
Okay.
until giving my testimony.
Yeah, I appreciate your offer to maybe help on the cleanup. I mean, that's something we can take a look at, but we got to get that area cleared
Yeah,
out.
for sure. Yeah.
And, we do want to issue a long-term lease for that site. Whether you can participate in that, or we can maybe help you find another site, we'd be happy to try the best we can. So do talk to Richard Hoke over there. He's right in the back. So
Okay.
appreciate your testimony. Any questions? If not, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, the next J7, Nalani Kaniakua Hosea Level Foundation. Okay, J8, Leana Kilikoa and Paukukalo Hall.
Kalamai, it's taking a while for it to open up. Okay, aloha mai kako. My name is Leana Ikarozi Lani Omaui Singh Kili Ikoa of Pokukalo. I am a I would say, lifetime resident here in Paukukalo. I come before you with gratitude. I say mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. Our hall, our Pokukalo Hawaiian Homes Hall, was under renovation starting in 2024. This is 2026. We, our Pokukalo Hawaiian Homes Association, has had to meet on the lanai area near the hall for, in April, will be 2 years. And I wanted to just say, we're grateful that it's being renovated, but we continue to get this pushback of there's checklists that need to be done, which we appreciate. Safety is very important. I was just informed that our association does have insurance for our community meetings in the area and in the hall if we were to have community meetings there. It's our monthly meeting. Our monthly meetings are every first Monday, and the hours would be between the hours of 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. We just right now are recovering from this konalo, so we are looking for or helping people that are in need due to rain damage, wind damage, anything that is in need for our community. And it would have been a great opportunity for us to have short meetings there in the hall safely, but we have no means to be able to go in the hall. Jermaine, which is part of your staff on our Maui side, has been in contact with us. She comes to our community meeting. She's weathered out some cold weather outside on the lanai with us, and we are just wanting to know how much longer it's going to be. 2 years outside on the lanai. We had aunties coughing and some of our association members sick because we're sitting outside faithfully going to our meetings. There's a lot of different things in regards to the hall, but we also, I said Pokukalo Hall, but I also wanted to add some things. Our grass in the park has not been cut for a few months, and we will be celebrating the 42nd Prince Kuhio Ho'olaulea in the park, and the grass is like almost past my knees as we walk around in the park. So we're just trying to find out how is it that we can get some assistance for a great Prince Kuhio Kalaniana Ho'olaulea, which is this Saturday. We have talked with Jermaine. We have talked with, I guess Carlisle now is part of getting information to get that grass cut. We also have been in communication for many other things with Jermaine, and she's been very upfront with us, and we're thankful. We're very thankful for Cherise that continues to help us, but we continue to hear the checklists haven't been done, so cannot go in the hall. But in October of 2025, commissioners meetings was in the hall. March 11, which was like last week, there was meetings in the hall, and so that's our questions. Mahalo, 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 and have a blessed day. We just want what's, I think, appropriate for us to be able to meet in the hall.
Yeah, we'll check into that. That seems kind of consistent where we're meeting in there, but we don't let you guys meet in there. That doesn't make sense. So we'll check on it. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
You too.
Mahalo.
Okay, go back to J7, Nalani Kaniakua.
and show your screen. Aloha.
Hello.
Can you see us?
Not yet.
Okay, one moment. We're working on it. Do it. What? No, 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 no. Just go back to there. Okay, go back in. Okay. Why are you using these two things? It's ridiculous. Okay. Hearts. Okay. Aloha. We're just gonna share our screen.
Okay.
One moment. So there. Let's share here.
Oh, wait, they're back. Yeah, and even co-hosts, they should be able to share.
Sorry, we're just trying to share our screen. We're having just a little bit of difficulty here.
Okay. You want
Just-
us to come back to you in about 10 minutes?
No, give us a minute, see if we can get on. Can you maybe advise us, because we know where the share screen is,
Okay.
but we cannot see it anymore. Okay, here you go, we found it.
Okay.
Where is it? Yeah, can you come back to us, please? We apologize.
Okay, no problem.
Mahalo.
J9. Okay, we're going to go to J10, Ruth Solomon.
Go into whatever you use, whatever is Safari, and get it on there. That needs to be in your background, okay? No, it's already there. Okay, so close this. Okay, what are you on? Are you on that? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Share. No, 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 that's sharing to an email. No, okay, okay.
And I know at the minimum, $80 per head in one van of 12. That's $900 in one van. How many vans going up there taking tours up Mauna Kea? How much money have we generated from those tours? Not one penny. How much money we generating from the guys using our road to get up there? Not one penny. Not one penny from the observatories up there. Not one penny. Not one penny from DLNR, who's given DHHL the most hard rub about even collecting the 20% that we're entitled to under the Admissions Act. How much money we getting from the Admissions Act? DHHL, Hawaiian Homelands, the commission. How much we getting from them, from DLNR? You can't even give me unquantified on number because they don't do them. You know why? Because 20% of zero is zero. They on a regular basis, they constantly undermine Section 5F of the Hawaiian Homes of the Admissions Act consistently. And we get on the department and the commission that it's like, oh, well, that's a state agency, a sister state agency. What we're done with doing now is, here's what's happening now. In the past, we've had to rely on lawyers to come in and rescue us from the trust, the breach of trust that has consistently happened over since 1970. When was the first time, right? We had Kalima, we had Nelson, we had aged Hawaiians, we had a whole bunch of cases that come out consistently. The department and the commission has been breaching that trust on a regular basis. And so this right here is to say to you, and what hurt me is that in order to successfully do this in court, I have to name names, right? You guys are commissioners, you guys' name gotta be there. Otherwise, they're gonna throw the suit out. But I don't like do this. And I don't wanna do this suit. I do not want to do this suit. What I want to do is work with you to have you tell the department for the first time, can you take the lead as the executive board and tell the department what needs to be done? Because that's your job. Your job is to be the overseer of the department. The department is not supposed to be telling you what you guys can and cannot do, what we're going to try or what we're not going to try or what not. You guys are the commissioners. This is your job. Their job is to administer the act and to manage the lands. Manage the lands. That's the job, right? So you're going to have the department come here and tell you, oh, you know, we're going to presentation for one company to come over here and do biofuel, right, on our lands. And then turn around and tell you, oh, you know the Hui that's still over there, Aina Malu here, we really don't like the Hawaiians over there on the vacant, unmanaged lands. We don't want them there. Well, we will let them stay there for now because it's politically correct, but we don't really like them there on the vacant, unmanaged lands. So you're going to tell the trust beneficiaries no to vacant, unmanaged lands, but you're going to tell one foreign company, yeah, we look at that. We you know, because we can get some money from you. To me, I think that thing upside down. Where's the parity, right? So this suit is designed to bring some parity and to bring one clear message that the days when we have to rely on attorneys to do this is over. When Carl Verity them got $40 million in the Kalima case, $40 million they got, while the trust beneficiaries got $100,000. Where's the parity in that? This is crazy. So you know what? It costs $315 to file a lawsuit. As a pro se litigant, I don't need pay great amounts of money to file a lawsuit. I've been doing litigation since 1988. You like research me? Go ahead. United States Supreme Court, Sandin versus Connor. Became a landmark decision dealing with due process rights for prisoners. I took on a state in Halawa High Security Facility when everybody laughed at us and said you could never touch Oku, because Oku was the warden of that facility. And we took him on, and we won, right? We put in a law library up there, and I've been on board ever since that time. I'm not afraid to do litigation, but this is something that doesn't have to take place. If you choose to ignore this, then it'll have to take place. But it doesn't have to take place because all of you are compassionate. All of you understand your fiduciary duties. All of you, I've watched you and worked with you, I talk with you, I see you have aloha. This commission is the first commission that actually opened the doors to us guys. My pilot program is a classic example of that, of us working with the department and the commission to make this thing happen, right? Aina Maluhia, right here. We get Dana and Nani right here, the two leaders of Aina Maluhia. They've taken on the task of being able to manage bodies on the Aina. You know, of course, they're getting hit by people saying all kind nonsensical stuff, and they don't even go there and talk to them. But they're going to send you guys rumors, oh, this guy's doing this, this guy's doing that. That's only because they're trying to kill the program. So what I want to say to you is, if we're going to continue to work together, then we need to continue to work together to build the trust with each other. One of the problems that have existed all this time is that, oh my God, my time is up, is that there's no trust. And I've been trying to build the trust with Alahui. You know who opened the trust door? Kali. You know when Kali went open? I can tell you when the door went open. The day he told Neves, you know, Neves, you keep talking about policies and procedures. If it's the policies and procedures that's keeping our people off the land, then maybe we should change the policies and procedures. You know, that day, the people that was here was against Kali, a lot of them. But I was out there telling them, but listen to this man, he's for us. And when he said that, it changed the vibe in the entire room. And people started to see him in a different light. We need to be able to continue to work together. This is a very serious issue. Auntie Georgie came to you guys last month, talked to you about a serious issue of you guys violating the law, clearly violating the law, putting that pipe over there in that cul-de-sac. And still, 1 month later, no action from the department, no action from the commission. But HFD came out. HFD showed concern. So I'm asking you, when you ask us to come to the commission and to bring concerns and to sit on it for a month or so when it's a serious issue, then you're not doing your fiduciary duties. So I'm asking you to take this into consideration and let me know what you guys like do, because I want to work with you guys to deal with this issue. I presented the suit and I also presented a letter of settlement that is consistent with the laws. Now you got Deputy Attorney General over here. She can advise you if the thing is correct, if I'm correct on the law, and if I'm not correct on the law, then say I'm not correct. And tell me, you know what, Demand, we're not interested, go ahead and file your lawsuit. But I'd rather not do that. I'd rather us deal with this issue because it's a fixable issue. Now, just because I made a presentation about settlement doesn't mean that I want all of that. What I really want is you guys to address the Mauna Kea access road. That's what I want you guys to do. And it's stated in my letter.
Okay, thank you, Demond. Thank you very much.
So is that it? Nothing else?
Well, you're threatening a lawsuit, so we gotta kind of protect ourselves. as well
But I
as
didn't
individuals.
file the lawsuit.
Okay, well, you're threatening, so.
I'm not threatening. I'm giving it to you as a presentation to show you what next steps can be taken if you guys choose not to. You guys want, last month,
Demond, actually.
it was asked to come
Demond,
to the
I've read
commission.
your proposed lawsuit, and just so you know, we are we were meeting with the communities up there. There's two parties that are interested in taking on the management of that road. And we're looking at trying to generate revenue for them. You know, this toll booth approach. That's something we're looking at actually, and I think it's a great idea, and we're actually implementing it. And when it's ready and ripe, and after we've given staff an opportunity to take a look at the different proposals, we're going to present it to the commission to take action, to generate money for the community up there. So your idea is a great idea, and we are actually looking to implement it. So just so you know.
Okay, so that's interesting that you should say that. You know why that's interesting? Because you guys never put that out on the wire to nobody. You guys having this
With the community
closed door,
up there.
we're all the community. We're all the community. We're trust
No, we're
beneficiary.
having beneficiary consultation
When?
up there.
When
Up there,
was it?
it's relevant to that community, not Oahu.
Oh,
So it's a beneficiary.
So we don't
up there.
count.
No, you count, but I think the priority should be the people that live in the area.
See, that's the problem. All these closed door sessions. that
Come
you
on,
guys
I
have
don't
with
want to
other
get into an
people.
argument with you guys. Okay, thank you. You've gotten your 10 minutes.
Okay,
Thank you.
well, I gave you guys fair notice. Thank you.
Okay, we have Nani Peterson.
Actually, if I could bring on, Chris,
Yeah, fine.
Chris Mole as
Sure.
well too. We actually had planned to, bring all of the ohana, that are on Aina Maluhia as of right now to have a little bit of a discussion. But unfortunately with the weather, the rain had gotten a lot of them sick and other situations came up. And so Chris, was able to join us, and I think I wanted to start off with her and just first and foremost, again, mahalo for opening that door for us to have a conversation about helping, how we help each other bring the wait list down. Because we can help each other, right? And it's shown by what we're doing right now. We've been trying to move in this way in Pono as much as possible. That's important for us in Waianae because right now no more balance. Yeah, and so we're looking for that. Our people that are on there and our people that are seeing what's going on at Aina Maluhia and bringing back culture and bringing back ho'omana, in understanding what our purpose is as a community. Yeah, and so we've been patiently waiting for any updates on the matter for with the staff, with DHHL staff, and I'm not trying to say anything bad against Julie or anything, but we've had some conversation here and there, but then it stopped. And I understand she's very, very busy in what she does for DHHL, and so just a reminder that we cannot wait anymore. Yeah, and so we're slowly moving in a way that Aina tells us to move. Right? And so what that is putting plants in the ground, putting food in the ground. For when that time comes that you guys are ready to have a conversation with us, upon a conversation with us on how this can work for all of us across the island and fulfill your fiduciary duties of that 84,000 acres. It's been beautiful to be there. And it's also been a little traumatizing for a lot of the people that are on the Aina at the moment. In that, like, we understand you're trying to find or visually see through aerial technology on what's going on whether or not we're doing things that are not pono, and we're not. Right? And so there was a situation a couple times already and I've been having communication with David Hoke, and this is nothing against him or his team. I understand the what they do and how they're doing it. And I just want to remind you that we should always put culture at the forefront of everything that we do, especially in this organization. Yeah, and so what I mean by that is, and David shared with me already as far as how many people he has, which is not enough for what he does. And that the safety is a concern of the enforcement. I completely understand that. But like I shared earlier, protocol is important to us in Waianae. Yeah. And so when you come to our location and you somewhat secretly fly drones in our area, in a position that is imposing to our privacy, especially. It's threatening, and it's scary for a lot of the people that have dealt with that outside of our AINA, outside of where we're at. And so trying to find again a way to change your policies and procedures in implementing those protocols. Yeah, just need a knock on the door or a call out to us and say, hey, we got to do this for the department. Can we come? Yeah, of course. But using the Western mindset of how to build relationship, that is not a way to do it. That's not our way. And so I'm here to speak on that finding a different way for us to work together on this as we figure out what this move is. Chris was here to share her mana'o and her eha.
Aloha, my name is Christian Mole. When I was about this designer, I was houseless and sleeping from couch to couch. Someone asked me if I would live under Aina. So I said, it took me a while. When I went there, I opened my eyes. I realized I learned a lot about who I am and where I've come from. And I like where I'm at. I'm safe. I like the people that I'm with. I share my manao as well as theirs. And I think that Nani and Dana has given me a place where I can call home, where I don't have to worry about no one stealing, lying, cheating, or giving me false hopes. And when the drone was flying around, it kind of made me feel like, what are they looking for? Why are they doing that? You know, invasion of our privacy is a lot. And to take that from me is not right. You know, they claim that we make fires, we make noise, we make all these things that they told you folks about us are lies. Because we don't make noise, we don't make fires, we don't do all these things that they think that we're doing. You know, and I learned a lot about me being Hawaiian. You know, being born in the mainland and then coming to Hawaii and realizing who I am. And that's something that nobody can ever take away from me. And Nani has given me the knowledge of patience, you know, and this word that my mother would always use, ho'omananui. You know, to be patient, to be humble. And I realized who I am. You know, I'm Kanaka first before I become an American. And that, nobody's going to ever take that from me. And I share with you because of my dad, Robert K. Mole. You know, they gave him the Aina and they took it back, but no explanation why. And I would like to know why. Because before he passes, I told him that I will find out why the land was taken away.
So she's talking about her dad being on the HHL. It's a completely different matter, and we can figure out how to work through that. So she's trying to find out who she would be able to talk to help them. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so she's speaking about a lease agreement that her dad had with the HHL.
Yeah,
And so
check with Juan over there. Give him the information and he can kind of do a little bit of research and figure out
Yeah,
what happened.
because-
Let you know.
he keeps telling me that I want you to do it.
No, no,
Because
just give us the information.
he wanted to remove his name off the list,
Mm.
and I said no. And I told him, why do you want to do that? He goes, because I'm old,
Shouldn't do
you know?
that. Oh.
And I told him I'll do everything in my power and my ability to find out what happened and why they did what they did.
So who do we speak
Yeah,
with?
Juan over there. You can,
Juan, okay,
you can
mahalo.
meet with him and give him the information. He'll check,
And
do the research.
I told him that's the last wish that he had for me, because he was in the hospital for last week, and I'm scared because I know that I wanted to make sure that he understood, you know, what I found out.
Your dad is still alive.
He's
in
still
the
alive,
hospital.
but he's not doing so well.
Yeah, so it's real critical you get the information. Maybe you need
Yeah,
to do an
that's
assignment.
I told.
Yeah.
That's why I feel hurt inside. You know,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I get that across to him before he passes.
Yeah, it's very important you get the info and take
But
action.
it hurt me to say that he wanted to take his name off the list.
No, no, you shouldn't do that.
And that's why I told him, no, don't do that.
But he might want to assign his
For
position.
Aina Malihia, I'm grateful for this place because we work on the land, we work in the mud, we work in the sun, you know, and I've never done that before.
Okay.
And I like it. It teaches me how to be more appreciative of what we have, because we're growing our own food, you know? We have things on the land that I've never seen in my life. And learning how to grow our own kalo means a lot to me.
Sure. Okay. Well,
You know, and not just only kalo. We grow,
Right.
you know, we have growing ulu, we've growing mango, we grow, you know, other fruit trees, lime trees, things that we take for granted. And I thank Nani and Dana for giving me that ability to go back to my Aina. You know,
Great.
to be appreciative where we come from, because you're not going to get that in no books. You're not going to get that from, you know, you're only going to get through that called experience.
Great. Thank you very much for your testimony. Mahalo. Then Juan is right over there. Thank you. Okay, who do we have next? Okay, this will be the last one before lunch. Nalani Kaniakua, the Hosea Level Foundation.
Okay, just checking if you can
And,
hear me.
Please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, well, I'm back. Aloha kako to the commissioners and Chair Kali Watson, and mahalo for your time. My name is Nalani Kaniakua. I'm a descendant of Anahola Village on the island of Kauai, also beneficiary to the trust and leasing. I'm also the president of Jose Lavo Foundation and director of the Ko'olau Limu project. I want to start by giving you a quick overview of what we do before we get into the real business. Okay, so who we are, we have our foundation and 3 initiatives, Ko'olau Limu Project, Ko'olau Limu Festival, and the Anahola Beach Reserve. Okay, Jose Lavo Foundation. Continuing the legacy of our father, Jose Lavo, through ocean stewardship and limu restoration. The Ko'olau Limu Project, partnerships with local community organizations, community members, schools, educators, researchers, interns to grow, restore, and replenish limu. And our Ko'olau Limu Festival is a community celebration sharing knowledge and culture around limu and the rich heritage of Anahola and throughout Hawaii. And then we have the Anahola Beach Reserve Stewardship. This is really a powerful tool for building community and instilling pride. Some signages include take out your trash, no camping, DHHL, no trespassing is also on this stewardship area. Okay, now we're getting down to the business. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is to bring transparency, to bring awareness, to get clarity of a situation we are currently in. So I'll give you a little background. On February 22nd, 2022, Jose Lavo Foundation right of entry 707 was approved for 2 TMKs, 08012-001 and 48012-010. Now, a year and a half later, a right of entry 572 was approved for the same TMK 48012-010 to the Hokualele Canoe Club. Our project was growing, was really, really growing. And so in 2024, we requested that our ROE be converted into a long-term license lease. And also we requested the use of 1 water meter credit. On August 19, that request was approved by the commissioners, mahalo. And on January 1st, 2025, we received our license agreement 874. These are the TMKs. To the left, 48012-010. And on your screen, the one in the upper right is the Anahola Beach Reserve that we steward. Okay. So back in October 2023, Hokualele President Legs Yokotaki was constructing a building. So I sent a text and photos to land management as notification. Land management has been aware of this structure for nearly 3 years. And most recently, I received a text from Carrie Shuchop. She paddles for Hokualele Canoe Club. And also she is the permittee on that ROE. I perceived that text as to harass and intimidate me. She also included third party, Kaipo Duncan, as a recipient. Now let me read it to you real quick. It says, Aloha Nalani, it was brought to our attention that you pulled one of our paddlers off the river to move a vehicle from the chain area, even though you didn't need access. Today we had 25 keiki, 10 adult paddlers. We will continue to be respectful neighbors and hope you can do the same. But we will not entertain petty demands. In my defense, I did not pull anybody off the river. I was there to check CRB traps that we monitor in partnership with the Co-Invasive Species Committee. And I was there all of 2 minutes. So if we can wrap this up, point out some key facts, seeking clarification and corrective action. 2022, Jose Lavo, right of entry 707 was issued. Now, a year and a half later, 2023, right of entry 572 was approved for the exact same TMK to Hokualele Canoe Club. Again, in 2025, Jose Lavo Foundation's long-term lease was executed. Our right of entry became voided. No, our liability insurance is pending renewal. So I have a key question. is it reasonable to conclude that the Hokualele Canoe Club right of entry is now void due to the Jose Lavo Foundation long-term lease and its governing terms? We formally request Hokulele Canoe Club illegal structure, Kalamai, and all associated property be removed. And that Hokulele Canoe Club vacate the premises as soon as possible. Their continued presence conflicts not only with the Jose Lavo Foundation's long-term lease agreement, but also our ethical, legal, and fiduciary responsibilities, including obligations to the board, to our board, and to maintain compliance with our liability insurance disclosures. Hopefully, immediate action is expected to uphold these standards. And I thank you so much for your time.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, okay. Yeah, could you do me a favor and send us a letter kind of out with all that information or whatever you got up there? We can take a look
I
at it.
will-
We'll turn it over to the Attorney General's office to take a look at the language in the license as well as the right of entry and get back to you on what might be the appropriate pathway, whether it's the department dealing with the illegal structure or whatever. So just send us the info and we'll take a look.
I will be happy to do that. And your email address would be, or to what email I should be sending this to?
Yeah, to you. Yeah, just send it to our secretary or for the commission.
To the
Yeah.
commission, okay.
Yeah, the same email that you used to get on the agenda.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, aloha.
Okay, last call for J10, Ruth Solomon. Okay.
Not, Dana, you wanted to come in? Sorry, we passed him.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
So aloha kako, aloha Dina, aina maluhia. And really maluhia, if we don't know, it really encompasses bringing peace into a space. And we have an acronym for all of the letters. And I don't think I can articulate it enough. But what I would like to share in terms of concerns is that the way we engage in our spaces, Kanaka spaces, is important to how we heal. And as a cultural practitioner, somebody who has practiced Ho'oponopono, who went on to get a master's degree in mental health counseling, having certain commitments to culture is important. The department is lacking in that space, and we need more cultural practitioners to engage with our communities. I've been to a number of different meetings, and protocol is almost non-existent or at a very small, only a small allotment of time is given to that. And so the engagement I'm speaking of is when we have security coming onto Aina Maluhia, when we bring Auntie Blanche to Aina Maluhia, that we as a community get to engage in cultural practice. When Auntie Blanche is saying, no, we no more time for this, it kind of sets the imbalance in the space. And if she is representing the department, it might be a good thing to re-engage with dialogue with her about how we come into Hawaiian spaces. Maybe she's forgotten, maybe she didn't forget. Number two is that Pilina is important. We know Auntie Blanche, we know what she's working on in YNI. We ourselves have supported what she does. She supports what we do to some extent, but it's become personal for her. She has a larger fight within the community, and we don't want to engage in that larger fight. Right now, our focus is really taking care of those beneficiaries who are houseless, living unsheltered, or living rough, that they can come to a safe space and begin the process of kind of recognizing where they want to be. If Aina Maluhia can provide a longer term opportunity for them, that's where we're going to work towards doing. But it also encompasses us understanding that it comes with a certain engagement with Ho'omana Hawaii or Ho'omana Kahiko, and also planting. We have to kanu, as Aina is a reflection of our inner space. So again, I'm asking the department, when you come into Hawaiian communities, please, if you don't have a practitioner available, get somebody to go to build the space to encompass Maluhia. Mahalo.
Thank you very much. Okay, we've come to the end of this month's agenda. I'd like to thank everyone here, especially the commissioners and staff, as well as those people that testified before us. The next regular Hawaiian Homes Commission meeting is April 20th and 21st. It's going to be in Ho'olehua, Molokai, and Lanikeha Community Center, 2000 Farmington Highway, Ho'olehua. Please visit our website for the 2026 meeting schedule and information on awards, projects, Salesforce updates, and much more. We are adjourned.